For the sustenance of the nation's democracy, there must be transparency and accountability, which a leader must be known with. You're welcome to Njinji Media TV. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Remember to subscribe to the channel by clicking on the bell icon for notification. I am John Paul Annie. Sowore and Buhari, a Bromance gone sour, by Reno, Omokri. When I read the charges against Omoyele Sowore, the publisher of Sahara Reporters, I laughed. Cyber-stalking, insulting the president, and other such ridiculous charges. Sowore has not lied against General Buhari, even up to a quarter of the lies he told against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Yet, Jonathan never once contemplated arresting him. If you say Omoyele Sowore is a liar, I will agree. He tells deliberate lies to destroy the reputation of those he's against, using his Sahara Reporters website. He has done it to me personally and to my boss. But neither Jonathan nor I ever contemplated his arrest. I sympathize with Omoyele Sowore, but I cannot help but feel that what is currently happening to him is self-inflicted. I know his nature, by the grace of God, he will come out of prison. Read this and use Sahara Reporters to salvage my reputation. But he created the Buhari Frankenstein monster. What is happening between Omoyele Sowore and Buhari is just a bromance gone sour. Nothing more, nothing less. Sowore is not just some innocent human rights activist that General Buhari is persecuting. He was an ally of General Buhari who sold him to Nigeria. We must not rewrite history, or will repeat it. Using Sahara Reporters, Sowore dishonestly demarcated the then president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, as a drunkard, a slowpoke, clueless, and marketed General Buhari as an incorruptible, a man who could crush Jonathan and was better than Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. In 2014, when the then president Jonathan said, "I am the most abused and insulted president in the world, but when I leave office, you will all remember. You will all remember me for the total freedom you enjoyed under my government." He was referring to Sowore and Sahara Reporters. Nigerians mistook his tolerance for weakness. Today, General Buhari is trying Sowore, his former partner in propaganda, for insulting him. If insulting a president is a crime, then both Buhari and Sowore are guilty of that crime due to what they did to then President Jonathan. But it is not a crime. Sowore should be freed. Sowore is not the victim here. The victim who refused to be a victim is former President Goodluck Jonathan, who Sowore accused of thievery. Yet all the former president's children schooled in Nigeria while he was president. 5 years after leaving office, no one has found him wanting. It is quite possible that people around Jonathan made money. Yes, just as people around General Buhari are making money now. A president cannot be everywhere. But I am telling Nigerians, Jonathan was not the teeth drunkard, or weakling that Sowore painted him to be. He is a God-fearing man. To fear God is weakness to men like Sowore. Then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is meek. Meekness is not weakness. Meekness simply means you have power, but you restrain yourself from abusing it because you want to build, not to destroy. Moses was meek. Nigerians do not deserve a meek leader. We deserve General Buhari. On more than 4 occasions, Omoyele Sowore visited Nigeria while Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was president. We knew his whereabouts. He met then Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, and was in contact with General Buhari himself and Nasir El-Rufai. But Jonathan never arrested him because he believed in freedom of the press. Perhaps Sowore thought he was dealing with a Democrat like Jonathan. Sowore and Sahara reporters marketed Jonathan as a corrupt weakling. Yet Jonathan would never have made a man indicted by the army for theft, as reported by Premium Times, a minister. Jonathan deported South Africans in retaliation when South Africa deported Nigerians. It is Buhari who is weak and corrupt. The problem with the average black African, in particular the Nigerian variety, is that we cry over consequences and laugh over actions, forgetting that the consequence follows actions as day follows night. Sowore and Sahara reporters are the action. General Buhari is the consequence. I look at those now shedding tears for Sowore, and I remember when the then President Jonathan's son was crying because his classmates were laughing at him because they read on Sahara reporters that his father is a drunkard. Even children believed that they read on Sahara reporters. Without Sowore, General Buhari would not have become president. That is an indisputable fact. He and Sahara reporters poisoned the mind of Nigerians against then President Jonathan. As Christ said, offenses will come, but woe unto whom? Woe unto him through whom they come. Luke 17:1. It is a different matter if Sowore and Sahara reporters used the truth to turn Nigerians against the then President Jonathan, but they used lies, deliberate and malignant lies. You cannot destroy another man and expect providence to build you up. Kole work. What General Buhari has done to Sowore is a common northern tactic. I lived in the north, so I know. Abacha used it on Abiola. He used Abiola to destroy Shonika. After Abiola destroyed Shonika's government, he was of no use to Abacha anymore, so Abacha threw him in jail. General Buhari and Nasir El-Rufai know what they used Sowore and Sahara reporters to achieve in destroying the then President Jonathan. They are not fools. These guys are more politically sophisticated than even Sowore knows. They will not sit idly and watch him do the same to them. All of you were fooled when General Buhari rubbed mentholatum on his handkerchief and used it to induce crocodile tears. Shebi you all now seeing the genuine Buhari now? Who is crying today? Buhari or you? When we told you, did you listen? Enjoy your Buhari. General Buhari used Sowore and Sahara reporters against the then President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, and he will never let them be used against him. Sowore was naive. He should have known that the first person a feudal king kills is the kingmaker that brought him to the throne. So he can't remove him from the same throne. What an irony that Sowore used the Sahara reporters to remove the then president, Jonathan, from office. But today, he cannot use the same Sahara reporters to remove himself from jail. Don't dig your enemy's hole too deep so that when you fail, when you fall into it, you can escape. I just spoke to former President Goodluck Jonathan and urged him to read my column in today's This Day titled Sowore and Buhari, a Bromance Gone Sour. He paused for a while, then responded, Reno, instead of writing about what he did against me, I prefer that you pray for the young man. Help him if you can. He didn't know what he was doing. I was stunned. There was silence on my end for about 5 seconds. Then President Jonathan said, Reno, are you still there? I can't even remember my response. I think I stammered. Is this man a human being or an angel? Sometimes I have doubts. His level of forgiveness is beyond me. Reno, Omokri. Thanks for being there, Njenje Media TV.